fans. Welcome back to the episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today, we're going to be talking about IEM Rio 2026 playoffs. And as you know, the group stage was really interesting. Vitality finally lost. They lost their first map in a while, and then they lost their first match in a while as well um, to Falcons. Furia looking good. They're looking very motivated to win this, and they're going to have the home field advantage. But we'll see. But before all this, let's take a look back at how I did for the group stage. And this is the pick team I went with. Double Spirit with Sontix and Tenier. Double Mouse with Jam-Pad and Torshi. And then Flamesy from Vitality. Top 39%, only 8 points. I think we were pretty high up after the first round. I think we got top 9 after the opening round. And then it just got worse and worse. And then eventually we settled with top 39. Disappointed by Mouse players, I guess. I mean, Torshi's did really poorly for his price. I wasn't expecting much from Sontix or Tenier, but Sontix really disappointed there as well. If you take a look at the most picked play as a best value for money players, actually, Monacy and all the Falcons players basically who topped their group. Furia players as well with Saibu and Mikase in there as well. We're not going to look at the leaderboards, but make sure if you are interested to click this link down in the description below to join my league. The winner of that will get a Steam gift card. And then if you're interested as well on the Discord community, make sure to check out the HLTV Fantasy Discord. Again, the link will be in the description down below. But let's take a look at the bracket. So in the upper side of the quarterfinals, we have Spirit versus Mouse. The winner that will face Falcons in the semifinals. Then it's Vitality versus Navi in the other quarterfinals, and then the winner will face Furia. For this fantasy event, we will also take into account the third place decider match. So making sure that when you pick your players, making sure that they win at least their first round in order to at least get 3 games out of their value, basically. So starting with the upper quarterfinals, Spirit versus Mouse. Honestly, both teams to me look pretty poor coming into the playoffs. Spirit had to go through the lower bracket to win, and then Mouse fizzled out against Fury, I believe, in the upper bracket. I wasn't impressed by either, honestly. Like, Mouse made it close against Legacy. I didn't watch this Aurora game, but against Fury, it wasn't even close, to be honest. So I'm still a little bit off of my Mouse. I don't know if maybe Torchies might be calling now. Brolin might be gone after the major, so there's still a lot of question marks with this Mouse team. And then for Spirit, they beat Liquid, and they lost against Falcons in a pretty convincing way as well. Made it kind of close against Red Canids, and then BG2 pretty okay. I mean, it was an okay match as well. I don't know. I feel like Spirit should be the favorites. I don't see how Mouse win this, honestly. I feel like the crowd will also be on Spirit's side, to be honest, because they have Dunk, and Dunk is just too interesting of a player to go against, and Mouse has an aura. So I'm just going to go Spirit here. And then for the other lower quarterfinals, Vitality versus Navi is Vitality. They lost, but they're going to be bouncing back. I don't think Navi is ready to beat Vitality at this time. They couldn't even take a map out of them in that grand final. So it's going to be Vitality there. Semifinals, Falcons versus Spirit. And I think it's going to be a repeat. I just don't think Spirit are that strong. Or they don't even look great, to be honest. I think Falcons look quite good beating both Spirit and Vitality in the same bracket. So Falcons into the grand finals. Fury versus Vitality. This is the one that's probably going to be the most up in the air. Did Vitality look poor? Yes. Did they have to kind of, against G2 as well, kind of Vitality were up against the ropes, and then they basically came back against them. Like, they just played some flawless rounds to make the comeback against G2, who were about to send them down to the lower bracket. So Vitality has looked poor. Furia looks strong than this. I think they're gonna be extra motivated. And you know what? And for that reason, I'm going Vitality. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Vitality will turn it up here. They're gonna want to win the Grand Slam, lock it in before the major, so they don't have to worry about it. So I think Vitality wins here. Yeah, I think they'll be more locked in. I don't. Furia could win. I think this is gonna be the most 50-50 matchup out of any of them, because obviously Furia have the home field advantage. They're probably gonna get some help from the fans as well. Um, and Vitality is probably the weakest they looked this year, or even the past 2 years, to be honest. But I'm gonna go Vitality still. Grand final, Falcons Vitality. Give me Vitality. I just don't see how Falcons win over a 5-map series against Vitality. They got lucky, you know. They beat them, I believe 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. I just don't think it's gonna happen again. I think Vitality are gonna be too good. They're gonna seal the Grand Slam and they're gonna win. IEM Rio. And then for third place decider match, it's gonna be Furia versus Spirit. I think Furia win that. You have to send the fans home happy somehow, and I think just Furia is gonna win that. Let's lock this in. Boom. All right, let's take a look at the most picked players now. So, 12,352 people have joined so far, with only about less than 10 hours to go. So the most picked players, Apex, with about over 50% of pick percentage. Along with Robs and Saiwu as well. A lot of Falcons players, Texas Kicks and Nico are pretty popular, and then cheap Spirit players. So you'll see with the pricing as well that the pricing is very reasonable for a lot of players. So it's just about picking the teams / players that you think will do best. So you're gonna have enough budget to basically get most teams that you might want. Let's start off with Vitality. And this is how they did in the group stage. Oh wait, this is not the group stage, sorry. Apologies. This is not that. This is right here. This is how they did in the group stage. So we have Saiwu with 125, so just below his usual. Flame C dropped down a lot as well. Robs did about his usual most recently. Messi and Apex kind of struggle as well. I mean, Vitality, you have to pick at least one Vitality player, in my opinion. They're going to win their first matchup against Navi for sure. So that means they're going to get at least 3 matchups, whether they make it to the grand finals or into the third place decider match. That depends on how Furia feel on their day. The 3 players that I would go with, Rob, Saiwu, and Flamesy, all 3 of them are great value at those prices. Apex and Messi are both around the same value, as in rating per price. I guess if you want to make it go a little bit cheaper and afford better players around them, maybe go Apex. But if you really believe in Vitality, maybe Messi to turn up and hopefully do better. I mean, I feel like Messi is someone that does better in playoffs. So hopefully he does that here. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, you definitely want to aim for at least one of Rob's, Sidewall, and Flamesy from Vitality. For Navi, this is their ratings for this event. Makase popped off. Wonderful, Emet and Bit also did really strong as well. Alexi B did better than usual, but still not his best. And looking into that, I mean, all 5 players are options again at those prices, but they're facing Vitality first round. It's probably not gonna happen for them this time around. So probably don't pick into them. But if you are an anti-Vitality, if you want to take a chance against Vitality, maybe playing poorly and then Navi taking advantage, then pick one of these players. Definitely go with Makase if you believe in Navi. If you don't believe in them that much, then Bit and Wonderful and even Emma are good enough. Like, they all should do just fine in your teams. Yeah, they're all pretty good. Alexi B is okay. I'd rather spend more money into like some of these silvers, in my opinion. For Furia, this is how they did in IEM Rio. Yuri finally putting up a good I mean stage in general. Jakinder as well. Molodoi and Kisarado kind of underperformed, and then Fallen did pretty good as well for that price. So, I mean, the usual picks would be Kisarado and Molodoi, and I don't mind that, to be honest. Just hoping that they bounce back in the playoffs. But I think someone like Fallen is okay at 188. He's kind of shown a little bit more recently with his fragging wise. Um, I don't mind Yuri and Jakinder those prices, but I think if you're a believer, then these two are the ones to go with. One of these two. If you don't believe in that much, then I guess the silvers are just fine. For Falcons, this is how they've done in Miami Rio. Moyasi 1.58, insane. Tess and Nico doing pretty strong as well. Kixan outperforming Kyosuke, so Kyosuke's kind of struggling recently. Kind of interesting to see, but if you want to pick into my Falcons, I think Muzzy has to be one of your first picks. At 230, he is quite expensive, and it's probably better to get someone like Saiwu instead, or even Donk. But maybe he might win MVP for Ami Rio. He's been that strong so far. After that, I think Kessis is really strong at 194. Kyosuke is fine. He needs to bounce back a little bit more there, and I don't know if I expect it from out of him, especially against tougher opposition and not in group stage. I think Nico and Kixan are again fine value, but I think you gotta target someone like Monasi, Tessis, and Kyosuke before you pick these two. Between Nico and Kixan. Mouse, this is the rating, so Sershian putting up pretty okay rating there. Brolin did really strong as well, and so is Pinks as well. And then Jim had and Torshi struggling. Of course, the two mouse players I pick struggled. But looking at their team, again, they're gonna be facing Spirit. That's more of a 50-50 than Navi and Vitality. So if you believe in Mouse, maybe beating Spirit and then somehow beating Falcons as well, go into them. I think here for sure you want to look into Sershian and Brolin, who performed really strong in the group stage. Spinks is also solid. He's shown a little bit more consistency out of the five mouse players. Jim Head is not bad either at 190 if you want to save some money there. I think Torshi at 187, while enticing, his just ratings have just not been it recently. So he's been struggling a lot this year. So kind of interesting to see. And then finally, Spirit. This is the rating. So Donk 1.28. That's really low for someone like Donk. Magic's 113. That's strong. So is Tenier as well. And Cheer 1.1 is weak, and then Santos against bottom fragging. So looking at this, I mean Donk at 225. This is the cheapest you're ever gonna get Donk. So maybe this is the time to buy, especially if you believe they beat Mouse, and then then he just has to put up good ratings against Falcons, who's kind of his kryptonite right now. And either Vitality or Furia. So Donks is interesting at that price. And so is Shiro as well. 201. Again, probably the cheapest you're ever gonna get someone like Shiro's quality as well. So yeah. So those two are interesting. If you're going into a full Spirit like believer, Shiro and Donk have to be your first picks there. Between Magix, Tenier, and Sontix, I think you have to go between Magix and Tenier. Sontix just have not shown anything over the last 6 months. He's been really struggling. And I think Tenier has the upside, but he hasn't shown it, while Magic's been having a solid floor, but probably not as high of the upside. But yeah. So here is my team, actually. If I can find it. There you go. Decided to go with the Vitality and Robson Flamesy. I think Vitality will for sure win their first matchup, so I want to have at least 2 of them in order to take advantage of at least 3 matches, as well as Double Spirit as well. I'm a little bit less sure about them beating Mouse, but I think the value is there if they do, especially if it's Shiro and Magix. Shiro seems to be very consistent as well. So I don't mind that, and I think Magic's has a good role and eco-friendly. So hopefully they beat Mouse, and then hopefully they don't get trashed too badly by uh, Falcons, and then either Fury or Vitality as well. And then finally, I'm going with the Professor. The Professor, Fallen. I think he's gonna do just fine. I mean, I know they're gonna be facing Vitality, and they might lose that. But if they get to the third place decider match, they are going to destroy Spirit or Mouse or whoever it is. If they get to the finals, I feel like they're gonna put up good ratings. So I want to take a chance on someone like Furia rather than Falcons. Um, just in case, just in case Furia does go on to be one of the better teams here. But yeah, that's gonna be my team. Pretty locked in on this. Honestly, I want to have two of the Vitality guys, and I think Robs and Flames are just that strong that I want them in here. Um, I also try to build some Donk drafts as well, having Donk and maybe like Magix, Tanier, or even Sontics, and trying to afford better Vitality players. And I mean, I can if I do Messi and Robs. But I think this is fine for now. I enjoy this team. So yeah, good luck, have fun, and see you for the next time.